Kalm, your half-assed report of the guy on the bike. And we got a special shout out to our viewers in Bangladesh and Mexico. We're down here on Bond Street at the eastern edge of Soho, and we're gonna run in here to the Zürcher studio, and we're gonna take a little stroll through an exhibition by Kyle Staver. Opened my Facebook page today and I had a couple of messages. One of them was begging me to come by and cover this show. So I decided to shut down things in the studio early and come in and take a look. Covered one of Kyle's shows, I guess this is about maybe 2 years ago at Stephen Harvey Project Space, and I got a lot of views. It was very well received. Well, it is loud in here, and not only is everybody screaming, but they've got a DJ blasting music, so I'm gonna have to scream into the camera. This is titled Swan Flight, oil on canvas 68 by 54. Well, as I said, I did a report on one of Kyle's shows at Stephen Harvey probably about 2 years ago, and a lot of people responded very positively. I think the work is interesting because, in a way, Kyle is kind of reviving a certain kind of allegorical, mythical painting, and I think she's got a pretty good technique and grasp of painting. Not only is she a painter, but she also does these little fired clay studies. This is titled Study for Psyche's Watch, 2018, fired clay 20 by 11. Now I'm actually kind of curious. I'd like to know whether she does these before she does the paintings and then uses them as a way of kind of studying the way the shadows and things fall on the figure, or whether she does these after the paintings. So this is Psyche's Watch, oil on canvas 68 by 58. So this would be a painted version of the little clay model. I think Kyle's also very good with using her contrasts of forms, light against dark, and also the colors. They talk in the press release about her flattening the forms, and this figure right here does look like it's kind of been flattened out. Also, I'm looking at these dark black or dark backgrounds, and they're not just black she's got a lot of color things happening in there. So you've got kind of an indigo blue or dark green. This is titled Study for Swan Flight, fired clay, 15 by 13 inches. I should splice in a view of the painted version here. Okay. This is Psyche and Cupid. Although I'm thinking somewhere Cupid has grown up. Well, I've been reading a major opus by Pierre Bourdieu on Monet and the symbolic revolution, and a lot of the book is talking about the French Academy, and they talk about the subject matter that the French academic painters were working with. So this would be from probably about 1815 to 1860, 1870 when it started to fall apart. And of course, the myths were very important, but they had a hierarchy of subject matters. And again, we get to see Kyle's nice color work. This is Studio for Callisto. Got a nice sense of composition. Uh-oh, now they've broken out the pizza. I think one of the things that I brought up when I did my other report on Kyle was the way that she's able to use her lights. Kind of the backlighting is a very important element she uses. History, and I was looking at some of this work, and I was kind of thinking back to some of the painters that were getting a lot of publicity back in the early 80s. And there was a school that was coming out of France that was also dealing with a lot of kind of mythical subject matter. Study for Sailors and Sirens, fired clay. Okay, I like this. This is kind of an ironic take on it was the Ulysses tale of him being tied to the mast. This is Callisto. 68 by 54. And again, we got a nice kind of bizarre, humorous composition. We got the bears flying around up in the sky. I wonder if that's a reference to Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. Got the figure with the owl. The owl is a sign of wisdom. I like the way that Kyle has treated the chin here. Well, okay, I'm going to fess up to you viewers. I was here last night, and if you watched the video, you saw that they're having a pretty boisterous party. There was a DJ and lots of people. And at some point, I think they decided to turn out the lights or turn down the lights because it was getting so hot in here. And at that point, I thought to myself, geez, I should come back tomorrow and get some views with good lighting and nobody in front of the paintings. So we're back. This is titled Sailors and Sirens, 2017 oil on canvas, 68 by 58 inches. Well, I was talking during the previous segment about how Kyle likes to use her colors and the lights against dark as kind of a dramatic device, almost like putting a spotlight on certain parts of the composition, so that wedge of sail kind of foregrounds the figure. I guess that's Ulysses maybe tied to the mast. Okay, the flag is nice. We'll go in the project room space. This is Mermaids, 64 by 36. And we've got a nice simple composition with just these two figures, but again, the way that she's using her light colors to kind of distinguish her forms are very nice. And yeah, this slash of the seagull's wing across the middle of the composition is nice. And got some nice chunky paint. This is Lobster. Two figures, and yeah, these seagulls are kind of taking on an interesting, not only an interesting narrative part, but kind of a nice painterly flourish as well. And again, you've got this shoulder that's kind of highlighted, and the hot cadmium red kind of orange lobster. Nice, very direct way of rendering this face against the shadow of the water. This is a very classic theme. The expulsion 64 by 55. Yeah, so also Kyle has got a nice broad spectrum of grays and earth colors that she's playing off here. And as we slide across the surface and you can see some of the grading lights, you can kind of get a sense of the pedometi and the layerings and scraping and scumbling that she uses. And I think it might be because she is using so many of these kind of muted down earth tones and browns that when she does have a color like this blue that she uses, it really makes it pop in contrast to the midtones. Study for the Temptation of St. Anthony, 2018, Fired Clay. Well, Kyle is very, very facile, and she does have kind of a second sense of just being able to capture her forms and shapes and kind of take anatomy and maybe twist it or bend it or fold it over in such a way that everything kind of fits into the composition nicely. Venus and Adonis, 2017, 68 by 58. Okay, I like this just as pure abstract color and form. Is the pale cobalt laurels, the armband, and then the turquoise blue behind those dogs' heads. That's a nice little color riff. James Kalm reporting on Kyle Staver here at Zürcher Gallery, 33 Bleecker Street in New York City. You can like this, subscribe, and share. You can leave your thoughts, critiques, criticisms, reviews, suggestions below. And as always, thank you, Kate. Thanks, Chappie Milkshake. Thank you.